guys. Welcome back to Good News Knits. My name is Megan, and this is a podcast where we can talk all about knitting and share the good news of the gospel. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you guys had a really nice last couple of weeks since I filmed last. I've been knitting, I've been in the Word. I'm a couple weeks into the Apologetics course at my church, which is going wonderfully. So I'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, what am I wearing? Not a knit. I'm wearing just a t-shirt. It says he has good plans for me. This is just a t-shirt that I made in my like little X tool machine. But this is actually a lyric from a song by I think it's Red Rocks Worship. I think I'm not sure. Maybe I'll put the information down below. But the song is just called Good Plans. It's a beautiful, beautiful song, but it has like a special meaning to me. So the very first time my husband and I went into our church, this is just after we had kind of a revelation of like, you know, God revealing himself to us. And so we decided to go to church and we went just down the street. There's a church from our house and we walked in and we got in our seats and this song started playing and it just we both kind of felt the spirit wash over us and kind of felt a connection. And we hadn't heard the song in like months and months and months. Our church hadn't played it in a while. And we would kind of always say like, "Oh, I wonder if they're going to play Good Plans today. I wonder if the worship team's going to sing that." And funnily enough, well, actually not funnily enough. I mean, like the Lord totally, did this for us. But on our baptism day, after we got baptized, we were walking back to our seats, and we get there, and we stand up, and the worship team starts playing, and they start playing this song, and it was just kind of like really full circle for us because it's like the first song we heard at the church, and then the first one we hear after baptism. It was just really special for us. So yeah, I decided to make a t-shirt out of it and I wear this shirt all the time and I love it. So yeah, he has good plans for me. He has good plans for you. Let me get into my apologetics course. So I think I've gone to two, maybe three, no, two lessons now, I think, maybe three. Either way, I have to look at my notes, but it's going really well. It's so good. One of the like most important things that's been kind of revelatory for me in learning this is how important it is to be prepared as a Christian. John 17 calls us to be in the world, not of it. And being prepared as a Christian, just fortifying that foundation in Christ and then going out in the world and not being influenced by it, but being able to influence it. I think that's just really what the Lord is doing. I'm fully submitting to the Lord shaping and molding me into who He has plans for me to be. So yeah, it's going really, really great. And something else that I think is really important is just not just for fortifying yourself to go out into the world, but also to be able to answer people in a way that's in truth and in love. I think it's Colossians 4 calls us to be in conversation gracefully, seasoned with salt, and prepared to answer anyone. So I think that knowing not just how God makes us feel, but how do we reconcile that with science and with suffering and just all of these other things in the world, like the core issues that people really struggle with. How can we like shore up our own faith in a way, and articulate it in a way that doesn't sound like kooky or weird. It's a way of us being able to speak the truth of the gospel in just a really inviting way, in a way that just shows ultimately like God loves you so much deeper, with so much faithfulness, you can't even imagine. I mean, it's unfathomable the abounding love and mercy that God has for us. And to be able to share that with other people, I think is so important. And um, people that haven't studied the Bible have stereotypical opinions of God, and that's something that I've encountered personally, and actually something that I have had to pray a lot about, because I'll kind of just share the story really quick. So shortly after I came out, I became a Christian. I messaged one of my best friends, like arguably my best friend, but definitely one of my best friends, one of the people that I was closest to in my life. I could tell her anything. And mind you, before this, like atheist for 15 years, very, very like harsh look on Christians in general. So, I messaged her and I was like, hey, I just kind of want to share my testimony with you. And I kind of wrote her a long message about how I have accepted Jesus Christ as the Lord and the Savior of my life. And, she messaged me back and she was like, hey, I think that, that's great that you found something that works for you. And then the next message was, but I could never believe in a God who would take my father at such a young age and, afflict my son with, an incurable condition that causes him, regular suffering. In that moment, I didn't answer back. And what I should have said is, good, because neither do I. I would not I wouldn't believe in a God that behaves in that manner. First of all, that is not unconditional love. That is conditional love. That is a God who uses punishment to in a way that is scornful. I mean, I think that when you read the God of the Bible, it's very clear that that is not the God that I serve, the God the Christians serve. If anything, reading the book of Job has taught me that you know, God does not dole out punishment and suffering to us as a result of us being bad people. My friend's father was not taken at a young age because he did something wrong, and her son does not struggle because he did something wrong. I mean, that is not the God we serve. And that's something that I think about a lot is that, I sort of let that slide in that moment. I didn't address that directly. And God is preparing me to be in situations like that where I can answer better and I should answer better. He is calling me to answer better. And I believe that for all of us Christians, we should be able to communicate the God of the Bible in a way that is accurate. I'll let misconceptions slide in some areas of my life, but I that's not one of them. That's not one of them, and that's not the God that we serve. And I would hate for that information to be out there. So I know that that's what people think. I know that's there's stereotypes and there's preconceived notions, but yeah, this process of dedicating my life to the Lord, but also doing this apologetics class is really 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 training me up in the ways of the Lord. I feel like I'm even more every day, every class, every moment I spend in the Word is not time wasted. It's preparing me to go out into the world and be salt and light. Um, so yeah, if I can encourage anybody, again, to read the word, but to read it in using whatever resources you have to be able to understand it and be confident in the answers that you are going to be given. God is not calling us to be perfect, but He is calling us to be truthful. And in that moment, I feel like I was not, being truthful about the God that I serve. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lesson for me. That's a lesson for me going forward is that, you know, um, uh, I want people to know the abounding love that God does not just have reserved for me, that He has reserved for you. He has reserved for everybody. So yeah, I mean, I hope that that can shed some light, and maybe you guys have had some similar experiences where maybe you let people make assumptions about you that weren't true, or about God or about Jesus, but you know, we're called to be better than that. We can be better than that. And that doesn't mean to be entering into conversations with an argumentative spirit, right? Colossians 4 really, it specifically says gracefully. So, we can do that in a way that, is kind, in a way that is honest and genuine. So, yeah, I mean, I pray that for all of you. I pray that you are able to be able to have a deep understanding of God in a way that you're able to communicate to those around you. I don't know what that looks like for everybody. And, I don't have a ton of opportunity to encounter other people. That was kind of a big reason for starting this podcast is, I feel God is calling me to evangelize. And I'm not great with words. I don't have a super deep knowledge of the Bible. I'm learning just like the rest of, the rest of a lot of you, I'm gonna learn from those around me that have that deeper wisdom. I'm gonna pray for wisdom. I'm gonna seek wisdom. I'm gonna spend time in the Word. Yeah, so please, join me in that. I hope that I can encourage you guys to do that. I hope that I pray that for all of you. I pray that that spirit upon you. It's just to be able to go out and to seek that knowledge and be able to seek that confidence that it takes to be able to answer people in the ways that that I missed out. That was a missed opportunity, to defend the God that I serve. So yeah, um, I hope that you can maybe learn from my mistake, and moving forward, I certainly have. So yeah, let's get into some knitting. So the first finished object, well, the first and only finished object that I have is going to be my storm sweater by Petite Knit. I'm not wearing it. We're in a heat wave, so like a winter heat wave. That's why I'm wearing a t-shirt. But this is the storm sweater by Petite Knit. Beautiful pattern, top down, drop shoulder. I knit this in Knitting for Olive, merino and soft silk mohair, like my tried and true. The colorway for both of those is Morning Haze. It's this beautiful, beautiful gray color. I've used the pearl gray before, and that definitely is like lavender leaning. This is much more of like a creamier, yellowish, even tinted gray. Perfect. I'll put some B-roll in. This fits like a sweatshirt, so the color is perfectly fitting. I love it. It's wonderful. Um, Pattern wise, so I knit the body on 4 millimeters, and I knit the collar, the cuff, and the hems on 3.5 millimeter needles. Modifications, I didn't do too many. The first I didn't do the double knitting on the collar. I just did a purl bump, did a purl bump at the fold. I do that a lot. I don't really like prefer it, but sometimes I'm just like not in the mood to do the double knitting, so I didn't. I did extend the sleeves a tiny bit by this pattern here with like these slanted purl ridges. I knit this a little bit longer, and initially it wasn't on purpose to like make the sleeve longer, but when I finished the pattern repeat, it like looked a little disproportionately short. So I thought I would extend it by a few rows. And the sleeves are super long. I'm sure you'll see in the photo, but it's not like absurdly long where I would like rip back. I think it totally fits with the sweatshirt kind of vibe. So yeah, and then the last mod that I did was I shortened the hem because it was getting really long. So I shortened the hem, and then I shortened the hem maybe by like a centimeter or so. And I did not do the setup rows for the Italian tubular bind off. I just did the tubular bind off. I did not do the tubular, setup rows for it. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's like a rookie move, but I feel like I don't need it, like that's my person. Like it's fine, it's whatever. And I am happy with it. The bind off kind of cinches in, which I love. I think it gives it again like that sweatshirt vibe. It fits good. It kind of gives like a nice little like tuck fit versus like kind of a boxier shape that I've kind of had in some of my other sweaters. So yeah, I mean this is wonderful. I love it. I'm so happy to have it done. It's like so cool. I mean, kind of 80s texture a little bit. So great. I knit this. I started knitting this on this was my Christmas cast on. So I knit this. I started this December 25th, and I finished it on February 2nd. So yeah, what is that? 5 6 weeks? Not too long considering I've been like squirreling knitting on a whole bunch of other product projects. But yeah, my storm sweater by Petite Knit. So happy, so proud to have this done. Only finished object that I've got. Next, my works in progress here. I was really hoping to have these socks done, but such is life. They're not done. This is like 10 different patterns. Started out as the quilty cabin socks, ripped those out. Then switched to the surf wax socks by Summerly, ripped those out. I did keep the cuff though. Okay, so this is the cuff from the Surf Wax socks. It's a 2x1 rib, and then I cast on the second sock in a 2x2 rib, thinking like that's right. That's right. I don't need to check the pattern. It's fine. It's not. But Anyway, yeah, so I really was hoping to have these done. I don't have them done. I'm really, really close. I haven't blocked this one. That's why the yarn looks all crazy because I frogged it a billion times. I've got, oop, we're all tangled up here. I've got both of the heel turns, the flap, the gusset, most of the foot done. I think I've got only a couple rounds, to go, maybe a centimeter or so before I can start the toe. So ideally these will be done the next podcast. I am knitting these in Farmer's Daughter Fiber December 25 Sock Squad set. Both the contrast and the main were the set. And I think this is called There is Rest in Beauty. It's like the opposite of what I think there is beauty and rest, but I'm pretty sure the colorway is called There is Rest in Beauty. Yeah, it's like this great, like salmony coral kind of color. Um, it's beautiful. I love it. So yeah, we'll be happy to have these done. These were quite the saga. You can watch my last episode where I sort of go into detail about how these went off the rails basically immediately. But I don't know, at the end of the day, be happy to have these done and, just have like another great pair of socks in a beautiful yarn done. So hopefully next time you won't have to hear me ramble about them. They'll just be done and yeah, then I can move on to knitting another pair of socks. All right. Next I've got a shawl, my shawl. Okay, this is my Malibu shawl by Isabel Kramer. It's beautiful, like slip stitch pattern. It's got like a garter border and then these little like eyelets made out of yarn overs along the edge there too. I am knitting this in the recommended yarn. So this shawl actually comes in 2 colors or 3 colors. I'm knitting the 2-color version. So I'm using Myak Tibetan Fibers Baby Camel yarn. In this black color is anthracite, and this beigey color is called Thar. I probably double where I was. I already moved my stitch marker, but I think it was down here somewhere when I first showed it. I was not very far. So I have knit, a fair amount. Now I'm sort of getting, more and more stitches, so it is taking me a lot longer. When I've got a purl back, here's the back of it. But I mean, it's a beautiful shawl. I cannot wait to have this done. I'm knitting it on, 4 millimeter needles. It's slip stitch. So if you are new to color work, and you're like intimidated, like I was intimidated kind of when I saw it, but it's like not, holding two different colors at once. It's slip stitch. You're only using one color at once. So don't let this intimidate you. If you can, you know how to just do a yarn over and increase, knit purl, you're good to go. Um, I love Isabel Kramer's shawls. I've got another one. I've got yarn for another one coming up at the end of this episode that I'll show you. But yeah, so hopefully I'll have a little more progress with this. It's not my main project, but I am really motivated to finish it. It's beautiful. Yeah, this yarn is really cool. Um, I am really interested to see how it blocks out. I did not gauge swatch for this. Like again, it's gonna be fine, like that's me. So we'll see. We'll see how it feels and how it blocks out. And I'm hoping I can finish this like, sometime before winter ends so that I can like, at least have a chance to wear it. Um, but yeah, so that's my Malibu shawl by Isabel Kramer. And I just keep it in this, like, I think a purse or shoes or something came in this, like, Quince& and Co. bag. It's just like a linen, I think it's linen, cotton drawstring bag. I just use whatever bags I have for my project bags. Next project bag. This is actually, yarn came in this. I ordered the yarn from Etsy. It says, knittedhome.com. I've ordered Cardiff Cashmere from this company before on Etsy, and they come in these like really nice drawstring bags. So yeah, I keep them and I use them as project bags. All right, so this beautiful pop of red is my Monday sweater by Petite Knit. This will be my third Monday sweater, and it's just a go-to like classic pattern. So if you're new to sweaters, this is a really great beginner sweater. You learn all of your skills. You learn a double folded collar, you learn increases, you learn German short rows. Yeah, so it's a raglan. It's got these beautiful raglan details on the side. The pattern calls for a 3-stitch raglan. I increased it to 4, nothing crazy, but I also made the collar a little bit chunkier. So I thought by making the raglans a little chunkier, it might kind of, balance it out a little bit. Here's my little progress keeper from where I was last time. I think I was around here. So yeah, I've made a little bit of progress on it. I'm like close-ish to splitting for sleeves. I'm not gonna try it on. I'll do that next time, but I'm close-ish to splitting off for sleeves. But I'm knitting this in knitting for olive, merino, and soft silk mohair again, like my go-to in both in the colorway red currant. This is like really, unexpected for me. And you'll see in my acquisitions, I have so many colorful, like so much colorful yarn, so many colors. That's like something that I'm really kind of getting into. It's like, how many beige and gray things can I knit? And before I'm over it, and I'm over it. So, yeah, this super exciting pop of color. I was hoping to I cast this on with the intention of like maybe I'll have a Valentine sweater, but she will not have a Valentine sweater. Um, but I will be happy to knit on it, over Valentine's. And yeah, I'll still wear it when I'm done. I mean, obviously this wonderful red is just going to be so fun to wear. I also I cast this on and joined the Pop of Red Cal that is being hosted by Knits by Lizzie. She also has a YouTube channel. She's a vegan knitter, which I'm not a vegan knitter, obviously, but I really like watching her channel. She has knit some really beautiful things, and yeah, she announced the cal, and I, had this yarn that I was dying to cast on, so it was a perfect match. I joined it, and I'm happy to see all the other lovely red projects that people are knitting. And yeah, so Monday sweater by Petite Knit. Hopefully we'll have this done ideally in February. I don't know. I knit these kind of slow, so we'll see. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, I think that's it. That's it that I have for whips. Yeah, so next I just got some acquisitions for you. I kind of have a little bit of a pile of yarn here. Okay. So first, okay. First I've got a sock set from Farmer's Daughter Fiber. This is my February 2026 sock squad set. So just got these in the mail. Beautiful colors. This is Bighorn sock. That's the base Bighorn sock. It's 75% 19.5 micron superwash merino, 25% nylon. 463 yards, 200 grams. So that's cool. A little bit longer, a little more yardage there. This is the colorway Ember Heart. So yeah, beautiful like February color, like this beautiful kind of deep cranberry-ish color, and then this kind of wine mini. I don't think I'm gonna knit them together. I think I'm gonna use something a little more contrasty for this sock set. But yeah, this is really nice. I've not had a sock set in this space before. So yeah, so I'm really excited to knit this up. It's very, very, very soft. Um, yeah, I was thinking I would knit socks out of it, but now I don't know if maybe I should do a little accessory or something. Just the feel is so nice. Yeah, so Ember Heart, beautiful Farmer's Daughter fiber set. You can still sign up for this, I think. It's not like, as far as I understand, you can join anytime. That's what I did for 2025. I didn't get any yarn for 2025 except for the December set. And that was my crazy like disaster socks that I showed at the beginning. That was the December 2025 colorway. So yeah, excited to have these and to cast these on. Yeah, I hope that's not a spoiler for anyone. Surely everybody's gotten their yarn by now. So yeah. All right. Next. Okay, this is the yarn for my Islander Dame sweater by Sennis Garn. And beautiful. This is the recommended color and the recommended yarn. So this is Sisu by Sennis Garn. It's 80% wool, 20% nylon, so like a sock, kind of a sock blend there. This is the colorway Moss Green, I think. Again, like it's in Norwegian, so I can't read it, but I know I did like a dive and I wanted the exact colors that the sample photo was used. I was expecting this to be a little more Kellyish green than it is, but again, I mean, it's like so aptly named. Like it's a moss green. And either way, green's my favorite color. I love it. It's gonna be beautiful. This is the contrast color, and this is, I think it's called light chalk. So yeah, I'll put all the info on the screen for you, but yeah, I think this is going to be really great. I'm hoping to cast this on in March if I can get like a couple projects wrapped up, so that I don't have like so many chaotic whips in the works. I would love to cast this on. I know it's not going to be done for my birthday, but I will happily knit on it through my birthday, which is at the end of March. So yeah, this will kind of be like a birthday project for me. So yeah, happy to have this and can't wait to cast that on. All right, next, another green yarn. This is yarn from Plucky Knitter. I ordered like a little bit of a haul from, just 2 projects worth of yarn from Plucky, but this is my first time ordering yarn from them. This is Primo DK. They announced they were having like a sale on their website, so I went ahead and perused it, trying to see what they had available. A lot of their colorways and bases were already sold out. They did have this though, and it's green. I mean, you know, so I ordered it. This is a 75-25 blend of superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon. It's 200 yards per skein. So I've got 2 of them here, and I'm thinking of making a beanie and then like an accessory, maybe like a Sophie shawl or something like that. I just think like this little like pop of green would be really cute. I don't know. I love it. I love it so much. The yarn feels really great. It's so soft. It's so squishy. Beautiful, beautiful green color. This colorway is called Fresh Take. So yeah, it's great. I can't wait to knit this up. I don't have plans to knit this anytime soon. Honestly, this will probably be a project that I don't do until like next fall or winter. So yeah, it'll kind of sit in stash for a while, but I mean, beautiful to look at. So yeah. All right, last kind of yarn haul here. Yarn haul item, I should say, is my Bow Bow Shawl kit. I'm so excited when this came in. If you saw my 2026 knitting plans video, you'll see I posted a picture of the Bow Bow shawl knit in these colors. So these are not the colors or the yarn that Isabel Kramer uses, but this is the Plucky Knitter kit. Um, I ordered the kit in exactly the colors that one of the samples was knit in. So this is their Legacy Sport Base. It's Shanico wool, which I've never knit with, and it feels so nice. I mean, it's like dense but soft. It's kind of got a velvety quality. I'm so excited to knit this up. I think it's just going to be a dream. Um, this is the color In a Jiff. This blue is Powder Puff, and this is Hunter Safety. So totally aptly named. Um, the only issue I'm having is each of these skeins is 312 yards. Now, when I ordered the kit, I thought that it was enough to knit the shawl because it's called the Bow Bow Shawl Kit, but it's not enough. I was looking at the pattern and it's like maybe 40, 50. These 2 colors are like 40 or 50 yards short, which that's like a lot, I think. So I didn't see any note about them modifying the pattern in their sample photos. So I did email them a couple times last week to ask about that, to ask about like, hey, this is much shorter than the pattern calls for. So we'll see what they have to say. I haven't heard back yet. I'm hoping I hear back soon. I don't want to have to buy a second shawl kit to finish one shawl. So yeah, I mean, that's not the goal, but we'll see. We'll see what they end up saying. Maybe they did some modifications to the pattern. I just don't want it to be small. I want it to be like a nice full size drapey shawl that I can kind of wrap around. So yeah, so to be updated on these, but beautiful colorways. This feels like beautiful yarn, and I can't wait to knit this up. So once I wrap up my Malibu shawl, I can get this going. This will be the next shawl on the needles. So yeah, that'll be up next. Stay tuned. I have yarn and projects all over me, but I think that's it. I think that's all I have for you guys. I'm so grateful for the comments. I'm so grateful for the subscribers. I hope that I can connect with you guys in some way, whether that's for knitting, whether that's through speaking about the gospel. I don't care where you guys are in your knitting journey. I don't care where you guys are in your walk with God, um, but yeah, I mean, I hope that we can just continue on this journey together. Please, leave comments, leave questions down below. I pray over these podcasts. I pray that, um, they meet you where you're at, that if, maybe you guys will hear something that you need to hear, or I can encourage you in any way. If I can just in any way communicate the depth and the, just endlessness of God's love for you, I hope that you guys can feel that or know that or investigate it and find out, there is no love like the love that God has for us. It's He designed us knowing that it is so imperative as humans that we feel deeply loved. I mean, you can look around and you can see the struggles and the outcomes that people have when they feel like they are not loved. And if only they knew the love that their creator had for them. So I pray that prayer for you guys. I pray that you feel just, the weight of that love on you in the best way. I feel that you know that Jesus died for my sins. He died for your sins, and there is nothing that you can do to get to heaven because he already did it. So so yeah, I thank you for coming, and I hope you stay, and I hope you stay, and we can continue to fellowship and grow in our knitting, grow in our faith, and yeah. So I'll talk to you guys next time, and we'll be able to catch up then. Happy knitting. God bless. Bye.